Go sit in the back, you're distracting me.
Burn the whole thing down and start again.
Oh.
That sounds mean, but I do agree.
Like, what the hell?
Why did you hide it for so long?
I think OP's being heartless.
Figure it the f*** out.
You're through to 1-800-DRAMA,
The show where you share your biggest dilemmas.
and we help you navigate them.
I'm Shaaba.
And I'm Jamie,
Come join us as we help people figure out if they are the drama.
because sometimes you just need an outside perspective.
And we can all expand our own mindsets along the way.
Wait, am I the drama?
Red flag, green flag, Shaaba.
Hit me.
Searching someone up on socials before meeting them in person. And this was actually sent in by a lovely Peach Kitten Paw. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kitten Paw. Green flag. Definitely green flag.
Yeah.
I think it's important.
Is that not what socials are for?
Right, beforehand it must have been done on Google. Before that, it will have been done through the whispers of the streets of who knew who. Like,
Imagine if you were meeting John Smith. Google. John Smith. There's 7 million of you.
the only thing that I would say as a disclaimer, more than a red flag for this, is don't always trust what you see. And I don't mean in like a catfish kind of way. I mean, people can be very confident online in a way that they're not in real life. Like, we have really good friends who post like thirst trap after thirst trap. And if you looked at just their Insta page, you'd be like, oh, they could come across a little bit douchey, but they're total teddy bears. Do you know what I mean? That was a nice, easy one. What's the
was.
drama this week, Jamie? What's happening?
I just had my birthday.
You did. Happy birthday,
I'm
Jiggly
getting
Bub.
older and loving it.
And if all goes to plan, we're spending Jamie's birthday entirely in a bookstore.
Yay.
I was like, what do you want to do? He was like, I want to spend all day looking at books.
Yes, please. Thank you.
So that's the plan. It's going to be fun.
And what's happening with you?
I'm playing a new game at the moment called Seance of Blake Manor, and it's so much fun. I'm really obsessed with that at the minute. And Sticky Paw's going well. We're progressing with our game. We have socials now, which is very exciting. There is actually one other thing that I wanted to mention. I've been meaning to mention this since the beginning of the year, but ADHD brain. I have a stat for you, which we got given by the podcast platforms, and it just bamboozled my mind at how substantial this community is, and I just thought it would be nice to share.
Spill it. What are you holding out for?
So apparently, throughout the year of 2025, not including on YouTube, on the podcast platforms alone, which is the smallest platforms, the Peaches collectively listened to 9 years worth of this podcast.
Whoa.
Isn't that mad?
I think that's longer than people spend on the toilet in their entire lives.
That like really just blew my mind as to the size of this podcast. 9 years, if you're to listen to it back to back, every Peach, that I still can't comprehend.
Thank you for spending your time with us.
Thank you so much for your support, for joining in every week. I'm so glad, because whenever I do check into comments, a lot of the time, I will always find a bunch saying, this is really helpful, this is really useful, thank you for helping me expand my mindset. And I think the exact same thing. So I guess, yay Peaches, woo!
And if you are enjoying this podcast, remember you can subscribe over on YouTube, and if you're listening on a podcast platform, you can give the podcast a little rating. That would be much appreciated. Thank you.
Out of 5 stars, and doing those really helps us grow and find new Peaches that we can also help out too. So yay.
Build a bigger planet.
Build a bigger planet. I love that. All right, Jamie, are you ready to go fishing for
Drama.
assholes? Let's go.
That was very musical today.
Thank you. Oh, drama.
Am I the drama, Shaaba?
Always.
Thank you. For marrying a woman when I thought I was gay. Oh, that's a tricky situation.
Yeah, breakups are already going to be difficult, but especially when it comes to things like sexuality, realization, the suppression of identity. I mean, I don't need to tell this community. The expectations are a lot.
For sure. And now's actually probably a good time to say thank you to today's video sponsor, Cheeks.
I see your little segue, very clever. We've partnered with Cheeks multiple times now, and I'm always surprised at how many DMs we get from the 18 plus Peaches thanking us for the introduction, specifically because of how ethical and diverse they are.
For anyone who doesn't know, do you want to give a quick reminder of what Cheeks is?
Absolutely. So Cheeks is a sexual wellness platform, and they have 3 menus for you to peruse. One is a video library of intimate films. One is an immersive sound library, which is my personal favourite. And they also have the Pleasure Academy, which includes everything from more practical techniques to more conceptual things like learning to love yourself and your identity, which I really think this OP could have used.
Yeah, I really like their articles, and I said this before, but I feel like as a trans person, Cheeks offers a really safe space to explore intimacy.
I love that.
They've even got filters so I can tailor the search, and I know the content is going to be inclusive.
Yeah, and I know you mentioned it before, but you were reading that article that wasn't anything to do with LGBT-ness at all. And Jamie was surprised, but in a happy way, to see that actually trans people are included in things like the quotes, just so candidly, like it wasn't forced, it was just part of experience, part of life.
Just like trans people. Ooh. And that's the thing about Cheeks, they're genuinely diverse, and you can tell it's not just a tick box.
Absolutely, and it's so refreshing to see, especially when so many of these platforms often cater for a very specific cliche kind of male gaze, you know? Mm-hmm. So if you love the sound of cheeks to explore topics like sexuality, intimacy, and so much more, you can head to getcheeks.com. That's GETCHEEX.com. Or get your fuzzy butts downstairs and click the link in the description box. And you can use our code DRAMA for 7 days of free unlimited access when you select the yearly plan. And you can cancel anytime during that period, so there is no drama here at all.
Use that free trial. It's for everything on Cheeks, and you will thank me later.
Ethical corn, baby. All right, let's get back to the episode.
Where OP asks, am I the drama
Always.
for marrying a woman when I thought I was gay?
No, this is heavy. Let's see if we can
Yeah.
help OP out. He says, I am a 35-year-old man, and I married my high school sweetheart, who's now a 34-year-old woman. She's awesome, and we're best friends. We met at 15 to 16, started dating 2 years later, got engaged at 18 to 19, and married at 21, 22. Hang on. I didn't realise just how long this relationship has gone on for. You're like childhood sweethearts from 15 to 35. That's 20 years. That's longer than us.
Yeah.
Woo! But we got engaged later, right?
Yes.
How old were we? Sorry, I'm really bad at dates.
23.
And that's 18, 19. So they committed, like, right off the bat.
Yeah.
We were each other's firsts. I've had suspicions that I was gay since I was a teenager. My own mum said a while back that she thought I was gay until we got married. That's
Right.
really interesting. Because I think normally in these situations, what you often see is that families are super conservative, right? And then they kind of make you feel like you can't come out.
Yeah.
Mind you, a mum saying, oh, I thought you were gay, might not necessarily be in a positive way.
Yeah, and if she says it after you've gotten married,
Just being like, I always thought you were gay, but then you got married, and
yeah, that's not going to be something that you can then suddenly go, oh.
I'd like a refund, please.
Yeah.
But I will say, even that though, like, especially if it was after the fact, that doesn't sound like the kind of environment that would be so hostile. I'm making a whole lot of assumptions here, but do you get what I'm
It
saying?
depends on the tone that was taken, because it was
Yeah.
like, oh, I thought you were gay. Or it could be
I
like,
thought you were gay,
yeah.
but then you got married. Like
Yeah.
that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
I started watching porn when I was 14 to 15 years old, and it's gradually progressed to being a problem, I admit. I'm staying up late at night to watch it in bed whilst my wife sleeps next to me, hiding in parking lots after work for hours. Definitely a problem. That definitely sounds problematic. I know this, says OP. My wife has no idea. I've hidden it well. Even though I had suspicions, I was attracted to my wife, and I do love her.
Right. I'm wondering, like, the big beacon in my head that's going off is, like, bisexual.
Okay, I didn't know whether that was an okay thing to say, but I was just like, bye,
Yeah.
bye. Especially if you went through with this relationship, you're saying that you were attracted to her.
Yeah, I guess we need to read on.
Yeah. But about 2 to 3 years ago, I realised that it wasn't going to work out. We've still been married, and she was still completely in the dark until December 2024.
Oh.
That's over a year ago now.
Yeah.
Right after Christmas, she got sick with the flu. She's always had a terrible immune system. And one night she says that she couldn't sleep, so she was going to go out where the TV was. I stayed in the bedroom and went to sleep. Mm-hmm. What does an ellipsis
I know,
mean?
yeah.
What
I'm
do you
like,
mean?
and went to sleep.
My wife came to bed at around 7 a.m. I woke up around 11:12 and took care of our dogs like I always do, letting her sleep.
Okay.
And when she got up a few hours later, I could tell that she was upset. I asked if she was mad at me, and she confessed that yes, she was.
I'm so confused about what's happening.
Is this the ellipsis? Are we not getting
wait,
it?
Did he not go to
Maybe
sleep?
he didn't go to sleep, and she saw what he was not sleeping to.
Right, maybe, yes.
Maybe.
Okay.
We argued a little bit, and I started to shut down. Arguing is hard for me. She asked if I wanted to stay married to her. She's asked this before. You know that things are tricky in a relationship when those kinds of questions are not only happening once, but multiple
I
times.
feel like that's when, even if you think you're holding everything in and all of your feelings and you're hiding it, you're clearly sending out signals where the other person is entirely confused about why you're behaving that way, but
Which
they're
is
getting a sense
why-
that something is wrong.
Honesty is so goddamn important. You
Yeah.
can't hide these things. And especially if you do love somebody, I'm not meaning in love, I'm not saying being in a relationship. If you care for someone, you have to not lead them on.
Yeah, they deserve the truth.
I understand it must be such a tricky position to be in, like OP's position, but it's also tricky for OP's wife, and they both deserve that sort of transparency as early as possible so they can work through how they're feeling.
Yeah.
My answer was always yes, and she would then say, then we need to communicate. And I said, I didn't know, and I covered my face. Oh, this time.
Yeah.
She said, do you want to stay married? And you said, I didn't know. Okay. I was trying not to cry. She got serious and asked what I meant. She started asking why I would say that. She started listing reasons that I might not want to be married. Is there someone else? Did I cheat? Was it her weight? Or that she's a dominant personality? I shook my head no to all of them.
I'm really bamboozled about how this has come about, because I assumed that this conversation has happened because the wife has found, like, gay corn. on his phone or something.
I think that ellipsis probably does mean more.
But she's asking things about like her weight and her personality and asking if it's to do with her.
Until she asked, is it because I'm a woman?
Oh, okay, sorry. I should have just waited.
It's okay.
Yeah, okay.
I nodded, face still covered, and started to cry. That shows that this has been something that has been...
She knew.
You know. I explained that I thought I might be gay since I was a teenager, that I was genuinely attracted to her. Bye. And I thought that's what God wanted for my life. She was hurt and went to her mum's. A few days later, she was back because I said I still wanted to be married. But after 2 weeks, I told her that I couldn't make her happy and she would never make me happy. Interesting. So you actually said...
I want to stay married
gay,
to you.
But I want to stay married.
Or I think I'm gay, but I want to stay married.
And that was in 2 weeks. So she was okay with that for at least 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Right? There definitely does seem to be some external pressure, whether that's family, whether that's religion.
Yeah.
But something is keeping this couple together when clearly they shouldn't be. After 2 weeks, I told her that I couldn't make her happy and she would never make me happy. I left for my mum's, took off my wedding ring, and when I came home the next night, she was still at her mum's. I've been staying at our house. She's at her parents'. She's upset and keeps asking me why I did this. Oh, this is hard because it's not anybody's fault. And the word did. The words can be so loaded, and especially in these contexts. I saw this thing on Instagram today and it was a text chain. One person said, "Are you up?" The other person said, "Yes." "Are you mad at me?" "No." "Why would you ask?" IDK, that yes just sounded kind of angry. And it was like taking the piss out of overthinking.
Yeah.
And that is me all the time. But I feel like the word did is definitely something to overthink.
Yeah. It makes it sound like it was an active choice of his, but maybe she thinks that at the minute because they might not have had a full-on conversation about exactly how he's been feeling.
And the fact that he did actually have attraction to her.
Yeah.
She wants to know if I meant anything in our marriage. How could I do this to her? She wants children and now she's 34 and she's had issues there already. She says that I have a corn addiction. See, that maybe suggests that she did know something. But doesn't it mean something when I can get off easier with corn than with her? With her I can't last and sometimes I can't at all, and I've never been able to more than once a day with her, but I can multiple times a day watching gay content by myself.
Okay.
I've been keeping my distance, but we have a couple counselling session this week so I can tell her my side and how I've been feeling so she'll understand me better. She says that I'm being selfish and not considering her. I'm confused a little bit with this writing, but it sounds like she's wanting to stay in this relationship.
Yeah.
Even after this kind of revelation that OP has now shared, and that's confusing me.
Yeah, I'm a little bit confused by this one.
She's been in contact, brought me things when I've messed up at my job. She's even got me a Valentine's present. I sent her something when I saw that she left me one. I bought a car yesterday, but she's upset that I didn't talk to her about it first. Yes, we agreed to talk before big financial decisions. Our bank account is still joint, but I was scared to talk to her.
That, I feel like, encapsulates the entire problem with what's going on in that relationship. Like, I do think that indicates that he has bad communication skills.
1,000,000%. And I can be as sympathetic as anything to your situation, to understanding identity, to being in a relationship, and absolutely agreeing that you should not feel stigma for the fact that you guys have grown apart for reasons that are beyond both of your control. But at the same time, this is not it. This is not how you act. You don't go and buy a car when you've still got joint money.
Yeah.
You're still in a relationship. You haven't had these conversations with her, and that just feels so mean.
No, I agree.
I needed and I wanted this. She should be happy for me, right? Not saying that I'm being selfish. Is she right? And am I the drama for caring more about how I feel than her? I've been so unhappy for so long, and I deserve to have what I want, right? There's a lot of right, like please validate me. This is a hard one.
I think that's a really loaded question of like, she should be happy for me. Like, this is all very fresh. She's not going to be happy with the fact that the guy that she spent the last 20 years being with, or near enough 20 years being with, and she wants kids and is now a woman in her mid-30s and is starting again, for you to turn around and say, I think I'm gay and I think I've known since I was a teenager. She's gonna need time. Like, as sympathetic as people can be to feeling religious or family pressures or internal pressures, internalized homophobia, not quite understanding, maybe you are bi and you're just not attracted to your wife anymore specifically.
Or maybe you are attracted to your wife in the sense that there's a reason that you've still been able to be intimate with your wife, even if it's less so than when you're watching other things, for example.
Yeah.
But this need to embrace the same gender attraction that you have is far more powerful than your need to be in this relationship right now. Do you see what I mean? It could be that it's not that you're not attracted to her. This just might be something that you're feeling a real big need to explore because of these feelings of liberation that you have found because you've come to admit it. I'm not saying you're not gay though. There's a chance that you could be bi. And I think that's actually a really important thing to bring up, but we shouldn't ever, just like a PSA to anybody watching go around and being like, oh, we will prescribe identities to you. You must be this as a sexual orientation. You know who you are.
I'm only saying that because OP has said a couple times that they
yeah.
have found their wife attractive.
I agree. And that in itself is quite an interesting thing, right? Because I know through being in the LGBT plus spaces, listening to people who come out, it's annoying. And it's such a trope when people go, oh, you're only saying that you're bi, but really you're going to come out as gay soon. But the reality is sometimes that does happen. It might be that you're saying that you're attracted to her now because you are trying to placate your own feelings of why you've spent so long in a relationship. But the reality is you're not attracted to her. Or maybe you genuinely are attracted to her.
Yeah.
But time, you're right, time takes time to figure this stuff out and to internally reflect.
I feel very torn by this one because on one hand, I think that quite a lot of the descriptions, and especially that car thing and the fact that OP's wife has said you're bad at communicating, basically, does indicate towards, like, I can see why she would be mad. Like,
Yeah,
I can see why
definitely.
she'd be mad anyway, because, like, this is a tricky thing. You know, she's invested herself to be with you for the rest of her life. She's in that relationship. She wants kids with you, all of this stuff. And you turn around and you say that you can't be together because of this thing that you've likely known since before you guys were together. That's gonna sting and she's gonna need time.
It's gonna hurt.
And she is allowed to feel that hurt without being homophobic about it.
Yes.
You are also allowed to have needed time to work through your feelings of, like, repression and confusion and not being sure, but there is a limit to the sympathy from me where it turns into you should have told her. You should have had this conversation earlier. You should have spoken to other people, tried to figure things out. And also the whole ending of this feels like maybe perhaps you've not gone about it with the kindest attitude towards your wife. That's what my gut is telling me. Just the whole, like, she should be happy for me, right? She's not gonna be happy for you right now. Her whole world has just imploded because of something that you've suspected for 20 years.
And the implosion as well, like, we have to understand that timing from the age of 15 to the 34, right? She has spent more of her life with you in it than without. I can't imagine a life without you. I can't remember
same.
what life was. Do you see what I mean? Like, that length of time for that to be taken away, and I don't think it's taken away. It's funny because now that we're talking about it, those words like, I can't believe you did this, could have two meanings. Initially, I was just like, oh, come on. Maybe the wife's not being the kindest or the most understanding to OP's point of view because you're saying, why did you be gay? But maybe this is, why did you hide it for so long?
So
Maybe
that's
it
how
is.
I took it.
Yeah, for me, I didn't. And I guess either one, again, could be true. Maybe this is definitely a need more information.
Yeah.
And you need more information because you guys need to talk.
Yes. I also just feel like the wife clearly suspected something because she asked straight up, is this because I'm a woman? Is it because you're not attracted to me anymore kind of vibe?
About the whole car thing as well, it almost feels like OP was this pressure pot that's been bubbling away from this age of 15, more and more and more. And now he feels like that conversation they had when he nodded his head. She asked that question, he nodded his head. He was like, that's it, I did it, I'm done, bye.
Yeah.
But that's not it.
Yeah.
That's not.
Yeah.
Now you're off buying cars, you're considering that you're, separated. Yeah, we've just got the bank accounts, but it almost comes across like OP's thinking this is just a logistical issue at this point.
Yeah.
But you haven't even, you're saying, we've got a couple session this week so I can tell her my side. You haven't had that closure and she hasn't had that closure.
She's still contacting you. She's still getting you Valentine's Day gifts. I feel like she's still in it. And that's probably because you've not sat down and had this full conversation of how you're feeling, what you want out of life, what you want out of the relationship. And it sounds like what you want out of the relationship is for her to not be one. But this is probably, even if she had a little niggle to make her ask that question, it wasn't her only question and it wasn't the first question. She's likely been entirely blindsided, whereas this is something you've been thinking since before you got together. You've had decades to process this information. She has had weeks, months, I don't know. She's not had very much time at all. She's gonna need time to process it. I think OP's being a bit heartless. I have sympathy for the situation. I don't have sympathy for how many elements of it seem to be handled.
I 1,000,000% agree with you. And the way that you phrased it was very useful. And I think the biggest phrase that's coming to my mind right now is both things can be true. When you're asking, she should be happy for me, right? Yes, but she should also be so mad at you right now. It's such a human reaction to feel both. Both things can be true.
Yeah.
She's saying that I'm selfish. Is she right? Yes, you are. But also, also being selfish in this moment is the right thing to do for yourself. Both things can be true. And she's entitled to not be happy about you being selfish. That can be true too.
But you being selfish is better late than never. Like, she's allowed to be mad and she's allowed to feel like you're being selfish. There is selfishness in this situation, but it is beneficial to her as well. It's better that she finds out at 35 than 50.
Yeah.
You know, it would have been better if she knew at 15.
16.
But that didn't happen. So now is the next best time.
Yeah. And I definitely feel that having these conversations with her will help with how she's feeling. If you can say to her, assuming you're being honest in this post, I was attracted to you. Our relationship wasn't a lie. It's just over time I have come to these realizations.
Yeah.
I think that will go a long way to making her feel like she's not been duped and like conned from the very start.
Yeah. No, I would agree with you. But I think it's still going to take time. She might not be able to hear it in the beginning.
Yeah.
And I think one thing I wanted to come back round to is OP saying, am I the drama for caring more about how I feel than her? I've been so unhappy for so long. I deserve to have what I want, right? Yes, you do deserve to have what you want. You don't deserve to be unhappy. But this feels like it's not just that you care more about yourself than her, but you only care about yourself.
Yes, she also deserves to feel angry and to lash out and to feel so betrayed by the fact that she's wasted all of her life with you when all she knows from what you've said is, I've known since I was 15.
Yeah. So I think we're all allowed to have those selfish moments where we care more about ourselves than somebody else, but we still need to care about the others in our lives.
Absolutely.
There still needs to be consideration that you've now turned your unhappiness into her unhappiness, which had to happen because all parties deserved this situation not to carry on going.
Yeah.
But there needs to be an acceptance of the unhappiness caused and allowing space for that and allowing empathy towards that while still acknowledging that you are allowed to be happy.
And I think you make such a fantastic point, and it's ultimately what it comes down to, in that you have had years, OP, to have this realization. It's like when people come out, right? The first person they have to come out to is themselves, and that's so hard. But once you've come out to yourself, more often than not, you sit with that and you have had these feelings and thoughts for a long time. It's kind of natural to, when you tell someone, to be like, right, you get it, right? Because you've had that time to be like, yeah, but they haven't had that. This is the first time they're hearing that, and that's a difficult thing for a lot of people to comprehend.
Yeah, I
feel
have my
sad.
badge.
Do you?
I do.
I'm stuck between no drama here and you are the drama. And I think I want to say no drama here for your identity.
Yes.
I get it. But you are the drama for how you have treated this situation since saying it. I think up until that point where that realization happened, I get it. It takes time. It's not easy. I'm glad that you found the strength to be able to come out, and I'm glad that she was able to detect it in a way that she could aid you by asking that question and making that a conversation that you seemingly weren't able to have. From that time, I do think you've been the drama with how you sort of dealt with it.
You deserve a yes, you're the drama badge for buying the car alone.
Yeah.
Like, seriously. And then just some of the way this is written sounds really lacking in empathy towards this woman that you spent 2 decades with.
Do you know what it's giving? I feel like I'm sounding really mean when I say this, because so much of me is wanting to be like, but I get it, I understand this is hard for you too. That can be true. And this is giving massive immaturity. Even being like, I bought a car, but I was too scared to talk to her. Like, you are in your mid-30s.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. I know. It's like, there's this niggle where, like, I want to be really open and sympathetic and accommodating to people being in situations where they can't come out, they don't feel safe to, or they've been kind of repressed in their world knowledge that they didn't know it's a thing they could be until they were later in life. This guy, just the communication thing, and like, I was too scared to tell her I bought a car out of our joint bank account without telling her. Like, what the hell? It's just like, was this more to do with the fact that you were scared to tell her, but you were in a position where you were in a very like accepting community where you could have come out as gay and it would have been okay? Because that then takes away some of my sympathy, because it just sounds like you got yourself in a situation then you were just too scared, not of telling her you're gay, but of getting in trouble about something.
Yeah, part of me feels like you can be in the most accepting environment of all and still be so scared and need time to come out, and that's fine. I don't think that's what you're saying.
No, that's not
that's
what
I'm
saying.
Scared like it might be coming across as, but I hear exactly what you're saying.
It was more like taking away whatever it is you're telling her. Something else big could have happened and you're going to be too scared to tell her.
You're just, you're being selfish and you're not thinking about how your actions are affecting other people, especially for this length of time.
I mean, I give no drama for being gay in the first place, obviously, and for not
the drama.
and for not fully figuring it out before getting into a marriage and then wanting to try and make it work. No drama. But you are the drama for how it sounds like you've handled it since.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah. And again, often with these situations, the badge is menial compared to the bigger conversations that we can have and the advice that people can gain from these stories. One massive thing in my mind is I really think think you need some therapy or that ability to reflect and internally understand what exactly your identity is.
Yeah.
You now have the freedom where you're not within the constraints of a straight marriage to explore, and you deserve for yourself to understand if you are in fact gay or if you do still have attraction to women in some way. And then once you have figured that out, I do think that sharing that, again, entirely on your terms if you want to, would be a great sense of closure for your ex.
I agree.
Astonishingly, there are no comments on this one.
No, interesting.
But Peaches, please feel free to converse downstairs in the comment section yourself. Just remember to be kind. All right, Jamie, am I the drama for making my wife ride in the back seat because she couldn't stop distracting me? Do you know what? I'm really glad we've got a little bit of like trivial relief in terms of the context, because that first one was so heavy. This feels like a more like
I already want to say
silly relationship, domestic. Do you know what I mean?
I already want to say no, because if you were distracting me big time in the front seat,
Go sit down.
yeah, I'd be like, go.
In the back.
In the back. You can sit in the middle if you still want to look out the front, but in the back. And it would be lovely. It'd be like, Shaaba, you're wanting to like sing and point at all the cute little puppies. You need to do that from the back.
Shaaba, you're
Yeah.
like it's distracting me
You
once I'm
keep like
driving.
hitting the steering wheel, babe.
Okay, let's see if we can help you out.
This happened over the holidays and my wife is still upset with me over it. Our family went to visit my in-laws for New Year's. It's about a 3 to 4 hour drive.
That's a long
That
drive.
is a long drive. Anything, when it reaches that 2 hour point, I'm done.
It's really funny because that's what we say. It's all, there's a word, relative. It's all relative. For us, 2 hours is a bit of a doddle. More than that, you're right. When it was reaching that 3 hour mark, we're like, oh. But we have driven 12 hours before. Mm. And if we need to do it, we're like, fine, all right,
Yeah.
sure, like, we will. But to some people, the idea of driving more than half an hour is like, oh no, that's unbearable.
Yeah.
And then other people watching this will be like, 3 hours? I drive 12 hours across state before even needing a pee break.
Yeah, if I find out something's within an hour, like if it's up to an hour's drive, I think it's really close.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you're an hour away? You're so close.
I could walk it. Peaches, comment below and let us know. At what hour does a drive become long? I'm so intrigued.
Mostly highway, but it takes us through 2 metro areas with pretty significant traffic.
Okay.
My wife, 37-year-old woman, gets nervous about driving in traffic, so I always drive when we visit her family.
Gets nervous about driving in
That's
traffic.
me.
Doesn't
I
that
don't
just
like
mean that you
driving
get
in
nervous
traffic.
driving?
No,
Because there's
no,
traffic.
no,
Oh, you
because-
mean like a condensed traffic?
Yeah, there's a difference, and I hate it.
Yeah, like you'll drive in our local area, but when we go to London,
If we
I'm
need to
always
go
the one
in,
driving.
yeah.
Because Jamie's like, no.
Yeah, she also tends to get car sick on longer drives and
It
needs
is
to sit in
you.
the front seat to help ease it.
It is you.
She has tried taking Dramamine, I'm assuming that's a car sick thing, in the past. but she's...
Dramamine is what it says.
I know. Go sit in the back, you're distracting me. But she's had an allergic reaction to it, so she doesn't take it anymore. I take a kid's one. Like, I take little kids' anti-sick pills, and they work great. There is more than just this one brand, or one type.
Yeah, you take is it the little pink ones?
Yeah.
See, but you have to chew those.
Yeah.
Like, they're chalky.
They could have this as an ingredient in them, but I'm sure there will be ones that don't.
Yeah. When I was younger, though, and going on plane rides, I used to have these squishy ones. They were like jelly sweets. They were the best.
Nice.
We'd find those again.
Yeah. I love my wife with all my heart, but she's not good sitting shotgun. She makes huge reactions to any change in traffic, grabbing the handle, pulling her hand on the dash, gasping, telling me to watch out, etc. It's not like I'm an aggressive or risky driver.
Okay.
I've never gotten a speeding ticket or been in an accident.
Okay, because I was going to say sometimes it's warranted. Like if you really are braking too harsh
Yeah.
or too fast, you'd be like, but it is so annoying when people are just like total drama queens as passengers. There are some people in our life, and I will not name names, who whenever we drive, it's the funniest thing. Regardless of who is driving, we can do like the most basic turn, a roundabout or whatever, and it's always like after 5 seconds. It's such a delayed reaction. They'll be like, and I'm like, come on.
I think Opie's wife is definitely overreacting if he's not had a speeding ticket or been in an accident or anything.
Don't take it personally.
But if there's a car a half mile ahead of us that puts on their brakes, she freaks out and acts like we're all about to die. Oh no. It's
half mile
incredibly
ahead.
distracting. Yeah. Maybe that's a bit of an over-exaggeration.
Yeah, this sounds like she has a problem. I wonder if like there was like a traumatic incident in which therapy would really help.
I've talked to her multiple times about how her reactions actually make it more difficult for me to concentrate on driving, but she says she can't control herself because she's nervous in traffic. traffic.
That is such a thing, though. It can make you a dangerous driver
Yeah.
when someone else, even if it's not to do with driving. I know sometimes, like, I've been on my phone and been like, oh, this new Lego has dropped. And you've been like, oh my God, Shaaba, I thought there was something in the car. And I'm like, sorry.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you do need to be mindful.
You can't have, like, reactions like that unless your reaction is then going to stop someone from being in an accident, like by making them brake.
Yes, yeah. Jamie does it with music. Sometimes a tune will come on and be like, yeah! And I'm like, because I think it's to do with driving. But you're just like, getting down to the beat.
Thank you. Getting funky. On the way to her family's place, she sat up front with me and traffic was pretty bad. Lots of slowdowns due to weather conditions and in general just kind of slow going. But I've been driving in cold weather my whole life and know how to control my speed and give lots of extra space to any surrounding cars. I understand that you can't control anyone else on the road and that accidents happen, but I do everything in my control to keep my car and the people inside it safe.
Everything that OP is saying and the way that they're saying it makes it definitely sound like this is the wife that's being a problem. Because
Yeah.
even saying, you know, like, oh, I've never got a speeding ticket or been in an accident, my mind is still like, yeah, but could you be a dangerous driver? But this doesn't sound like they're one of these like speed boy racers by any means.
The entire drive, my wife was on edge making all the reactions I mentioned. It's very distracting to have someone next to you doing that sort of thing while driving. I mentioned this to my wife numerous times on the drive and she always deflected blame at me for the way I was driving.
This whole thing just sounds really exhausting.
Yeah. Oh, you broke at a junction. When we were getting ready to head home, I told my wife she needs to sit in the back and our 14-year-old son will sit up front with me. I told her it's either that or she drives us home. She got upset with me and started giving excuses about her car sickness. I told her to take some NyQuil or something else to help her sleep, but she refused and told me I'm being a jerk.
It must be a serious safety concern, though, for OP if you're saying, no, seriously, I do need to go in the back. This is a lot, right, that she is doing. This isn't just the occasional once every couple drives being like, oh, cute dog.
Yeah. I told her that she can drive then and she refused to do that too. Eventually she reluctantly got in the back seat with our 11-year-old daughter. The ride home was much easier traffic-wise and my wife sat pretty much silent in the back seat the entire time, pouting.
Well, if she's pouting and not throwing up, then maybe her car sickness isn't so bad. Just saying.
Well, it depends, no, because I feel really ill, but I don't throw up.
Yeah.
When she got home, she told me that she felt ill the entire drive, but didn't say anything because she didn't want to make a big deal out of anything. She told me I humiliated her by making her sit in the back and that I should be more considerate of her feelings.
I mean, look, to be really honest, if you are putting your whole family in danger and you can't control your reactions, where you're doing this so much throughout a drive and someone's saying, look, you drive, but if I'm going to drive, I need you to not do this because you're going to put our kids in jeopardy, get your ass in the back. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or control yourself. But hang on, if she was in the back, this is just clocking to me, she didn't say anything. She was silent the whole time. So she doesn't need to speak.
I see why OP did this, and I'm not like disagreeing entirely with the tactic, but was there a conversation that could have happened first of like, look, we can drive back in the same way, but I'm really like very serious conversation. The way you behave makes it dangerous for me to drive.
I feel like this has happened already, right? I mentioned this to my wife numerous times.
And
she always
blame.
deflects and says, oh, it's because of how you're driving.
But I wonder if it could be a conversation before you get in the car, like not in the heat of the moment, but when you're about to drive home, instead of saying, hey, you need to get in the back because you're distracting, being like, hey, I really need you to try to not react to traffic unless it's genuinely dangerous and you need to let me know about something.
I see where this is coming from, and I do agree with you. What you're saying is like, obviously it's not nice to make someone feel unwell. And also, if they're your partner,
Yeah.
you want them at the front.
Yeah.
Yes, there are nicer ways that OP could have gone about this. I feel like an eye mask maybe could also help. It depends
Yeah,
though, because sometimes
but
it's
that
the
can make you
motion,
feel
right?
ill.
Yeah. Or looking out the side window instead of out the front. That way you can still see the motion but not feel like you have to say something. Or really, truly, just understanding why it is that you are being so loud. Is it because you're being a drama queen?
Yeah.
Or do you genuinely have some form of trauma that makes not being in control of a car but being in a car unbearable to you, where you're genuinely making people unsafe?
Personally, the people I know who are the biggest drama queens in the car will do it in the back as well. Actually, potentially more so in the back. It doesn't stop you
Yeah,
from seeing
you're
out
right.
the car. It
You're
doesn't
right.
stop you from feeling braking. It doesn't stop you from seeing the car in front. It doesn't stop you from seeing cars pulling in and out of traffic and
Do you know what
changing
pissed
lanes.
me off about this though, and it's making me feel like the wife definitely needs to take some accountability? You can't have your cake and eat it. That's what they say,
Yeah.
right? You have said, I don't want to drive.
Yeah.
I don't want to, like, you've given nothing.
Yeah. You said you don't want to be in control of the car.
Yeah, you don't want to take the NyQuil. I feel like he's tried so many times to be like, look, I'm trying to be kind with you here. I'm trying to find a compromise. She's like, no.
Yeah.
But then you can't make your family unsafe. It's that
No,
simple.
I know. My brain is like, clearly she is capable. I 100% believe she's capable of sitting in the front and being quiet.
Because you sat in the back and you were quiet.
Yeah, if you genuinely like had an issue where you could not not stop yourself because you have a panic response about being in a car,
Oh,
it would
you're saying
happen
that
in
a
the
trauma
back.
response would also happen in the back
I feel
too.
like it would. I'm not gonna say like absolutely 1,000% that it would happen, because maybe by pouting she was just not looking out a window as well. But you still feel the car. You still feel like bumps, and I think somebody that gets scared would be scared if the braking was slightly harsher than normal, if you went over a speed bump a little bit faster.
You are right, you know, and for me, whenever I drive back, or whenever I'm in a car, not the one driving, Jamie often takes the late night drives, and especially if we're coming back at like 2 a.m, I'm that person who like dozes off. And
Immediately.
no, not always. Hey, I've been better.
You have been better.
It used to be that it was quite immediately, but not anymore. Don't look at me like that. But my point is, when I wake up and I'm like conscious, but my eyes are closed, I feel really scared. Not seeing makes me feel more scared than...
It makes the braking and bumps feel more.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's like when you feel a spot, but you don't see it. You're like, oh my God, it's huge. And then you look at it and you're like, oh, it's not so bad. That's what the driving motions are.
Yeah.
So surely you'd want to see... I don't know where I was going with that. Sorry.
I
lost my beat.
I think it's because I said maybe she just wasn't looking out the window.
Yeah.
But you're saying...
Yeah, and I'm saying that would
but-
make you more scared.
And that's a very good point. I just think she seems perfectly capable of being a mature adult and not being dramatic about being the passenger in a car. And next time it would be like, look, I'm sorry for asking you to sit in the back. It was necessary because you really distracted me on the drive there. But I know you can be quiet. I know you can be okay on a drive and you don't need to react to everything happening. Can we try again, please?
Also, is this on the same day? Because you went to go and visit your in-laws for New Year's. A 3 to 4 hour drive is long. If you've done a 3 to 4 hour drive, which you did, you're driving both ways. That's a lot. And you've spent all day where your social battery is run out with a family New Year's. You don't want those distractions.
No.
You might genuinely be feeling so tired
Yeah.
that you needed this to stop. So I don't blame OP. I'm going to say not the drama here.
Yeah, I don't
definitely
think you're the drama.
Especially
I think...
because safety is being paramount. And I do think that there's a difference when we say huge reactions. It's one thing being like, oh, fluffy dog. It's another thing being like, hands on the dash. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
ah! Like, that is genuinely really unsafe.
Yeah, I think my one little caveat, I'm going to stick with my not the drama badge, but my one caveat would have been to have like, instead of that conversation being you need to sit in the back or drive, it would have been like, you need to drive or not distract me. And if you distract me,
You're taking over.
I think it would be important and safe for you to go in the back or take over driving, because I can't deal with the drive again like the one we had here. Also, I just
It's
want
a
to
fact,
say...
though, as well, a 14-year-old and 11-year-old
Yeah.
having to pull up, move the cars around, even just the two of us, when we just need a quick pee break or to top up petrol,
No.
that's like half an hour to
I
drive.
know, but I feel like that could have been an extra little compromise
Sure.
just to avoid this, because I get...
I'm being more no bullshit than you
Yeah,
are
no,
about
I
this,
get it.
but it's fine.
Also, my head is just like, if both of you can drive, why the hell would it be on one person's responsibility to do both the long drives?
Yeah, that's
I
a
would
lot.
never do that unless the other person wasn't feeling well. I get car sick. I prefer to drive. If Shaaba's like, I need you in the back because you're distracting, I'm like, no, let me drive. I'm driving.
I've never said I need you in the back.
No, I said if you said that,
Right,
I would
yeah,
be
yeah,
like,
yeah.
no, I'm driving.
But even now, Jamie often goes, please can I drive? I'm feeling particularly
Wobbly today.
nauseous today.
Yeah.
And I'm like, sure.
We've had to swap actually because I felt ill.
Yeah. That's not to say that my driving's bad.
It's
just
not.
Jamie's
It's-
got
I'm sensitive.
funny insides.
Some comments.
Your feelings matter, but you proved on the way home that you can control your actions, which is what I'm asking you to do. My request is not about feelings, but actions that make us unsafe. All of
That's
this. All of
beautiful.
this.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Not the drama. Her reactions can very easily cause the accidents she's so scared about.
Yeah.
And that's worlds worse than a little humiliation.
Yeah.
Her ego has to take the back seat in this. This is literally about keeping yourselves and your kids alive and well.
1,000,000%. You don't get to be pouty when you've got the safety of 2 little squishes in your car.
Yeah.
No, that's not. It's not good parenting for
No,
me.
well,
No
teenage
bullshit.
is a medium squish.
Any squish. Not the drama. She sounds like she has major issues and needs a professional. She's in actual danger with all of her distractions.
Not the drama. She can't drive, gets sick in the back seat, can't take medication, and won't behave as a shotgun. She's got to figure something out before you end up having an accident.
Roof rack.
I feel like somebody putting it all together like that is,
That's what
is
I'm
really,
saying.
yeah.
You know, like you can't say
She's-
no. Like
Yeah.
figure it the fuck out.
Yeah.
Sorry, I know that comes across as really
No,
harsh.
no, I totally agree with you. I agree with you. And I think the fact that somebody's pouting, I don't know exactly how long it's gone on, but the fact that it would go on for more than just like the 4-hour drive home and she's still pouty with you, what sounds like at least days later.
What are you, another
is
child?
Ridiculous. Yeah.
Not the drama. She proved that she can control herself. It's a Christmas miracle.
Also proves she can do a 3 to 4 hour car ride in the back without getting car sick. 2 miracles for the price
Well, she
one.
did get car sick, and
She
you're
did
right. You don't have to throw up.
yeah.
I was being too reductive. I absolutely retract that statement.
It's not
she was
just about
annoying
vomiting.
me. Yes, and you can absolutely feel more ill. It is definitely a thing. In the back of any vehicle, you feel it more, and on bigger vehicles, you feel it more. That's why on cruise ships they say go to the front. On buses, in the back, you're going to feel it more than in the front.
Yeah.
Even in a car, on bumps, like my butt lifts off the off the seat when I'm in the back, but not the front.
When I drive.
Sometimes. No, it's not your driving. It's, like those really intense speed bumps, like in car parks,
right.
those like really high ones.
I was going to say,
when I'm in the back, my butt goes...
I don't think my butt's ever lifted off the seat.
When was the last time you sat in the back?
Oh yeah, I don't
I'm
sit in the
always the one that's relegated, especially when it's like Jamie and Rolly in the car. They'll all go, oh, I've got such long legs. And because I'm the shorty of the group, I'm always in the back. It's fine. I don't mind.
But it's because I'm driving though.
I could drive.
Actually, technically,
You're
Rolly
like,
relegates
I want to
you.
be in the back.
Yeah, you could drive. Yeah, I do relegate you.
Our final submission today is from the 1-800-DRAMA subreddit. Thank you, Peach, for submitting. Let's see if we can help you out.
Am I the drama about being upset at my boyfriend for hiding future aspirations of wanting to be a billionaire?
I want to be a billionaire so bad.
Seriously, and being cagey about taking further steps in our relationship.
Oh, this is an intriguing title.
You turn around to me. You've actively said, I would never want to be a billionaire.
I do think it's a bit icky to want to be a billionaire.
Yeah, I think it's a bit icky.
Yeah, I think it says something about values. I just find it unethical.
Yeah, same. It's because I don't think there's a way you can ethically be a billionaire, and I think it's well known enough that is the case. So to have aspirations to be a billionaire means that you're willing to be unethical, or at least like be a level of unscrupulous about how you make your money.
Either that, or you're just really uninformed and you're like, I
Yeah.
want to be really, really, really rich, but you don't understand that stuff because you're not looking into things like politics as
Yeah.
much, or like caring as much. And I wonder if that's the case, if people even quite understand just how much a billion is. What do they say? More money, more problems.
Yeah.
I don't want it. I
Don't
don't
want
want
it.
it. I'd never want it.
No.
And do you know what really helps for me seeing all of these comparisons? Like,
Okay.
1 million seconds is about 12 days. 1 billion seconds, guess, 32 years. That difference, 12 days to 32 years. Like, imagine that
Oh, it
in
makes me
money.
feel a bit sick.
It's obscene.
No.
All right, keep your eyes shut. I want to see your
Okay.
reaction to some others. If I gave you $1 million every single day,
Please.
$1 million
Just one
every single day, how long would it take you to become a billionaire if you didn't spend any of it?
A very, very long time.
It would take you 3 years. £1 million a day. 3 years to make $1 billion. That's so much money.
Nobody needs that much money. There's also a video that shows a grain of rice or an amount of rice that represents 1 million and then 1 billion. And it's not just like a few more grains of rice.
Well, we'll
it's
put it here.
ridiculous.
It is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is just a title. Let's see if we can
No,
actually help
yeah.
OP out
Okay.
with the post.
Take it away.
Hi, fellow peaches. You can call me Overreacting Peach. I'm a 26-year-old white gay TM. I see you, Overreacting Peach. Hello. And my boyfriend, AB, is a 28-year-old black bi. Oh, CM, cis man, trans man.
What did you think it meant?
I thought it was TM, like trademark. Like, I'm a white gay TM.
I got it.
Sorry.
I thought you were like, we see you because you're married to a trans man. So you're like, oh, trans man in chat.
It's like trademark the white gay because you like your iced coffees and pumpkin spice lattes. TM. P.S. I'm not fully sure if it fits here, but I really like this community and want to put it in front of folks who would be open-minded. That's very cute. Peaches, don't disappoint. Let's see if you can help Overreacting Peach out. So, relationship context. We both live in the US, and we've been dating for a bit over a year. This is the first time that I've been in a relationship this long, but AB has had a previous 3+ year relationship with a black cis woman. I mention our races and orientation because we previously discussed that our relationship has many firsts for us both, but especially him since his parents are very traditional. Mine aren't, but live in New Zealand. I've only met them once and super briefly. Thanks for the context. This concerns politics. We both have progressive politics, but he tends to be more economically conservative. One of the things that I've been very vocal about is that I don't think that there are ever ethical billionaires because capitalism is inherently exploitative. I see you. Burn the whole thing down and start again. Yes, very this. I do have a question though about being economically conservative. I'm not sure if there is the ability to do that anymore. I feel maybe even 5 years ago, you could have said, economically I'm more middle, conservative, whatever, but socially I'm certainly very left, but now I don't know.
The waters are definitely muddier, but I think you can say it in principle, but you can't vote it.
Yeah.
You can sit there and say, I think I would be more conservative leaning when it comes to economics, but I would be more liberal leaning when it comes to social matters.
But if you're using that to then vote Tory,
yes,
you are shitting on so many marginalised people. It's nonsensical to me.
Especially if you're marginalised yourself. It just doesn't make any sense.
Right?
Yeah.
People being like, but I paid too much tax. Let me vote for Raj. The situation is, we were talking in the car on Friday night, and AB brought up the fact that he will be buying a property in 2026, likely around mid-year or earlier, and this would be the stepping stone for him to get into real estate investing in order to gain wealth and assets.
Right.
This, to me, is not offensive so far.
It depends on if that's how he wants to make his billion.
I think...
Because there's not an ethical way to do that in that
Though I'm
realm.
also just saying, like, if you're doing that, like, the level that you would need to get to, like, sure, buy your first property, my love. I'm not saying I don't believe that you have aspirations to be a billionaire. I'm just saying, like, there's so much that happens between buying your first property and being a billionaire from being a real estate mogul.
But we're talking about the aspiration.
Yeah, I guess. I also know that so many landlords get such a bad rap. Personally, I don't think it's a problem to be a landlord. I do think it's a problem to be a bad landlord. You have to be an ethical landlord, but I totally get it. Especially growing up in families who are always told property is where you have security. You have to buy your first home. Like, that's very ingrained in us, and specifically in the UK versus places like Canada, from what I understand, and have had conversations with people like One Topic about, who's very like, it's actually way more common to rent. Whereas here, the idea of home buying is like the thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I also think if you start like buying entire flat blocks or like a whole set of terrace houses, or you're one of those like serial portfolio landlords, that does veer in. But
Where
if
you like
you've...
buy a house and then turn it into 6 flats where there's no communal space because you're trying to squeeze every coin you can. But I also think the Renters' Rights Act, especially here in the UK, has made it much harder to be unethical. I appreciate that. I welcome it.
Yeah, and I would judge landlords who are like, I'm selling up because of this renters' right. Is it also you don't want to treat tenants decently? Right.
Where were we? The timing was surprising to me because my lease ends in April, May, and I'd previously brought up renting a place together a few times, but AB has always been quite cagey about it. In fact, this has been a bit of a pattern in that whenever I try to bring up something about a shared future, living together, meeting his family, he tends to be super non-committal and steers the conversation away. Question.
That would be an amber flag for me in a relationship.
1,000,000%. I'm struggling a little bit to see how the two come together. Maybe this will come clear later on, but when you say that his parents are very traditional, does that mean that they don't know that you're together? Like, is he not okay with the fact that you're two men?
Maybe.
Or the fact that you're trans? Is any of this part of it? Because he was in a relationship with a woman before, and not just a woman, but a black woman. So if we're talking about traditional family structures within culture.
Well, yeah, because some of your family didn't accept me, not just because I'm trans, but also because I'm white and because I'm not same religion as them and stuff.
It was a multiple whammy, for sure.
Yeah. Multiple whammy.
I was going to say double whammy, but you're right, there was more to it than that. AB then went on to say that he aspires to be a billionaire, using property investment as the way to get there, and that he hadn't mentioned it before because he knew what I would say about it. That, to me, just sounds like a real difference in values.
Yes.
At that moment, both parts of that statement shocked and upset me, and I didn't know what to say, and I can totally get why you were upset. That would piss me off too.
I wouldn't know what to say, because imagine being with somebody thinking you're in like this serious relationship, you see a future with them, you want to move in together, and then you turn around and they're like, oh, I have this massive aspiration that completely doesn't align with your worldview and your politics.
And on top of that, I didn't say it because I knew you're going to be a nag. That's how it comes across.
It does come across like that. But it also comes across as if, and that means we can never build a future together because I want this thing that is entirely at odds with who you are, and would also mean I'm not going to go rent with you.
Yeah.
Like, it just feels a bit ick.
I'm still struggling, not with you overreacting, Peach, but with the idea that wanting to be a billionaire is why you can't come together. Like, I don't understand. If you want to buy a property and that to be your first property, are you saying that he wants to buy a property but he doesn't want to live in it? He wants to rent it out?
Or he doesn't want to do this journey with somebody. He doesn't want to share it.
You understand what I'm saying? Are you buying a property for you to live in? Or are you buying a property to rent out and therefore you need another property anyway? In which case, how does this affect your relationship? That's the bit that I'm confused about.
This does say he'd be buying a property in 2026.
Yeah.
This would be the stepping stone for him to get into real estate investing.
Right, so if that's what's happening, you're therefore, I'm assuming that means you have to rent it out in order to invest, right? That's how the investment works. Unless you can invest by living there. Am I being really dumb?
Well,
like,
I guess
the way that you invest with real estate is by like flipping a property or by putting people in there that then pay you. Being a landlord.
Yes.
Why does that affect your ability to live with Peach?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's still confusing to me.
Well, I think that's a whole separate conversation.
Oh, it's like, okay, both these things. You're being cagey.
Yeah.
Oh, why? I hear you. After reflecting, I realised that what upset me the most was the implication that there was potentially a lot that he hasn't shared with me, especially since he has been cagey about our future, and that he didn't trust me enough to have an honest conversation about it. I haven't brought my concerns up yet because I wanted to process how I was feeling and thought that I might be overreacting. So am I the drama about being upset at my boyfriend for hiding his future aspirations of being a Billy Millie?
I don't think so.
I don't think you're the drama at
No.
all.
No, I don't think you are.
Totally get why you're upset. I would be upset too. I would also consider that part of the red flagness.
Yeah. What I would be upset is it feels like he's got this life path and he's not built you into it.
Do you know what I'm getting upset about? I'm trying to like sit with these emotions and understand where it comes from. It's specifically this phrase. I did bring it up. I knew what you would say about it. Like that vibe just boils my blood a little bit. And I think it's because it trivializes the idea of these rights. The reason why I don't like billionaire culture is because there's no reason to have that amount of money. There's no way to have that amount of money without stepping on other people. And for me, I don't see any other world in which that's justified apart from a sense of superiority, which makes you feel like you can do that on the backs, on the expense of other people. That's what I don't like. And so you being like, oh, I knew what you'd say about it, is like, I didn't bring up the fact that I'm watching Harry Potter or buying Harry Potter Lego because I knew what you would say about it. You're saying that it doesn't matter, that these trans rights don't matter.
I don't bring up the fact that I like Farage because I knew what you'd say about it.
That this classism doesn't matter. And I'm like, well, that means that that's not important to you. And that, for me, I'm not saying this is what you need to do, overreacting Peach, for me, is grounds for breaking up. Because I'm like, we are not the same.
Yeah. But also the fact that he specifically wants to make $1 billion in real estate. I don't see how that in any world can even be skirting into the region of ethical. Like specifically in property, to make that much money out of property.
I don't think I'm informed enough to understand how you can make $1 billion from real estate. Because even like the scummiest landlords that you hear about, right, that live in a tax haven country and buy up the property.
It's not as a landlord, it's as a developer.
That's how. That's how.
But even like the big companies that I know of that do like the big new build estates here in the UK, I don't think that their founders are billionaires. Like you'd have to be huge or like go to different countries or like I just don't get it. I just think it's a really lame life goal to be a billionaire.
That sounds mean, but I do agree.
I don't get it. You could have 1/10 of the money and still have more money than you'd ever need. And like, where are the aspirations of like building a life with somebody you love, having a great group of friends, having a job that you love doing? Why do you want to be a billionaire?
Need a filthy large amount of money? You're right, when your goal should be to have a regulated sleep system and enjoy the financial security. That I'm all for. Go for it. Financial independence, go for it. You tell me you want to be a millionaire, cool. You want to be a multi-millionaire, especially if you're in London, I get it. That's not weirdly unreasonable or it's not such a terrifying thought.
I think like for me, my aspirations when it comes to money has always been like, I want enough to have financial freedom and live the life that I would like to in a comfortable way.
And being a millionaire sometimes is required to do that in places like London. I get it, but being a billionaire is never
required.
That. A regulated system, good ass friendships, people who you can rely on when shit goes down. That's better than being a billionaire.
That is better than being a billionaire. Having a job that you like.
Yes, the ability to like wake up every day and be like, I'm fulfilling my purpose. I'm excited for what is to come this week.
Not voting politically for people that will not protect your rights.
Just not voting for Trump. Yeah. But absolutely, wanting to be a billionaire is a lame aspiration to have.
It is.
Being the kind of person who always has toilet roll in the house, always has butter, because we ran out of butter recently, and always remembers to take your vitamins.
Yes.
That's what I want. That's what I want out of life.
Yeah, I want to always remember to take the bins out.
To not miss bin day.
Yeah.
To be able to do the splits because you actually regularly do yoga. You say you're going to do it and you do it. These are the real aspirations. This billionaire shit.
This is not me saying for OP at all. This is you need to make your own choices.
Absolutely.
I would break up with somebody.
An overreacting Peter, I will say, you deserve better. I'm not saying that that means that therefore you don't deserve this person, but you deserve to be treated better and for your values and ethics in the world to be given the respect that they deserve.
Yeah. It's like if you were vegan and you started dating somebody who pretended to be vegan, who was really cagey about eating meals around you or whatever, and then they were like, I'm really sorry, I love eating meat. Like, I would just feel so duped. I'd feel so lied to. And I just think there's like an element of this with the caginess about moving in and like renting together and like being non-committal. There's clearly a reason for that. And it could be this whole aspiration of billionaireness.
Or it could also be that he's
else.
using you or having fun with you but not seeing a future with you, especially when you bring in this other stuff about the conservativeness, the fact that you've not seen the parents is feeling a bit weird to me. I would encourage you to be open and honest about your concerns, about how you're feeling in this relationship, and judge where you move from that based on the response that you receive.
Yeah.
Because honesty is important, and I don't ever want to be treated like my views don't matter by being like, oh, I knew what you would say, so I just decided to hide it.
Yeah, that's a red flag to me, because that's somebody with poor communication and not trusting you and not wanting to build trust in you.
That's what it is to me. It's more than the trust. It's like they're not valuing. Like, you're not worthy enough for me to share things with because I know what you're going to say and it does matter.
But this also means, you know, our conversation earlier where we were like, oh, maybe they don't know how unethical it is to have that much money. They do. And they've purposefully hidden it from their long-term partner to not hear it. They don't want to be told this is not okay.
So that's what I'm saying. You absolutely deserve better. And that can come in the form of your partner growing or you finding someone else. But I hope you understand that your views and values do matter and should not be foo-fooed and shut down.
And you're not overreacting.
No. Should we take a look at some comments?
Yes, let's do that. Hey OP, that seems like a hard one. So on one side, I kind of understand where your boyfriend might be coming from. I'm more economically conservative in my country standards, not in the US. And I think that considering the history of oppression of black people in the US, it makes sense that your boyfriend might want to climb that economic ladder so he can, with the power money provides, feel safer in a world that seems to be against him at every turn.
Yes.
I can't imagine it's easy to be black, non-binary and bi, especially considering how the US seems to be right now. It might even be something subconscious.
I 1,000,000% agree with this, and I was going to talk about race, but then we spoke about how being a billionaire is lame. I totally understand. This is what I'm saying. I understand, and not just understand, but also accept and respect people who see financial security in what they know. Coming from a brown family who was not well off at all, the idea of renting, I've moved house so many times, like around 20 times. It's a lot, and most of that was being moved from rental property to rental property. And growing up, that's all you're told. One day, Shaaba, you will own your house. That is what you want. Being a landlord is the biggest security that you can have. I do think that like tax and just economic laws have changed that, but this is what I'm saying. In terms of race, I get why people would want that security, but wanting that security does not need to come at the expense of being ethical. Whether that's being a good landlord versus a shitty landlord, or aspiring to have money and be wealthy versus being a billionaire.
Yeah.
That's different.
And it also doesn't, I think, excuse hiding it from your partner in that way and being cagey and non-committal either for that reason or for a different reason.
Yeah.
Like, you should still be treating your partner with respect. That is a
your
separate
partner shouldn't feel
concern.
like there's a reason that they're not seeing your family.
Yeah.
Or being introduced even.
That being said, I totally understand where you're coming from as well. Discovering you have such vastly different opinions to your partner on something with a lot of ramifications, both to your relationship with each other, but also regarding your morals, is quite complex.
Yeah.
I would say no drama here, but you absolutely need to have a conversation to make sure those ideas for your future are compatible. If your opinions and maybe even morals regarding this kind of stuff are compatible in the long term, and what the next steps might be.
Yeah, I always forget that the no drama here badge exists, and I can see how it is usable in this situation. I think it depends on how you feel with that difference in opinions. With a colleague, I can understand that people have different political values. With my partner, I need to feel like we're on the same page. And somebody saying I knew how you'd act about it, that's what makes me feel like OP's partner deserves the accountability.
It's that and the lack of communication about their future together.
Yeah. Doesn't need to be breakup worthy at all.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's entirely a you thing. But I do think we need to realise that there's something fishy going on.
Yeah, it's just not a club that I would ever aspire to be part of.
I meant more in terms of how you're being treated as a partner, but that too.
That too.
Are you sure he sees his future with you?
Yeah.
It sounds like he's thinking a lot about his future.
Yeah,
So-
but only from a financial, economical standpoint.
But knowing what you want and then not being able to answer, or, deflecting conversation whenever you're asking about, hey, my rental contract's coming up, are we going to take this next step together? That would ring some form of bell in my
Yeah,
head. That's what I'm
definitely.
saying. Not saying at all that you should break up. It's entirely up to you as to what you do and where your line is for a relationship.
Yeah.
But I can also see a world in which it wouldn't seem trivial to break up. I would have that standard. But I have also been told that my need for compatibility can sometimes be too strict. And I say that as a call out to myself because it's not something that means it's the right thing to do. It's just what I need.
Best of luck with the situation, OP. It sounds really tough, but I stick by the not the drama and that you're not overreacting.
Listeners, if you would like to help out Overreacting Peach, please do so. Just remember to be kind in the comments. Oh, drama!
Thanks for watching. If you are watching this over on YouTube, you can give a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel to see more.
If you're listening to this or watching this over on a podcast platform, remember that you can rate the podcast 5 stars, and any form of interaction across any of these platforms really, truly helps us out. So thank you.
Don't forget that Cheeks is also there for you.
Absolutely. If you want to check out Cheeks more, you can take a look at the description box downstairs, and we'll catch you with another episode next week. Be kind.
Much love.
And have a great day. Bye.
Bye.